Good day, everyone. In this chapter, we will be talking about the global demography and global migration and global citizenship. Demographic transition theory explains the shift in society mortality, fertility, and growth rate, the five stages of demographic change, and the terminologies used in demographic can be understood by familiarizing yourself with them. So let's start. Statistics are used in demography to analyze trend in population size, composition, and composition of groups. Demographers study data to discover details about population makeup. A hypothetical island called Dharma has recently appeared in the ocean, and we'll use it in this lesson to examine a theory called demographic transition, which is basically a population change model that demographer can use to examine how a population has changed in the past and to make predictions about how the population will change going forward. It is necessary to go through a few words that will be utilized before looking at the idea of demographic transition utilizing the Dharma population. Fertility rate refers to the number of births in a population. This is normal given as a number out of a numbers of another numbers. For example, the fertility rate of Dharma was around 31 births per 1,000 women at age of 15 to 43. You may also see it as a number of children per woman such as 1.6 children per woman. This is an average of children who were born to women generally at a reproductive age around 15 to 44 years old. Opposite of fertility rate is a mortality rate, which is the number of deaths in a population. Again, this is normal given as a number out of a numbers. On Dharma, the mortality rate was 8 out of 1,000 people. In other words, used in the context of demography includes the composition of the population by the age and the average life expectancy. Life expectancy refers to the age at which someone is predicted to die. Again, let's look at information about Dharma. The life expectancy of women was 81 years old, and the life expectancy of men was 76 years old. The age composition of a population can be best described as the structure of the population. This refers to the number of people in a certain age groups. A population may be described as having a large number of young people or maybe a large number of older individuals. Demographer often use population pyramid in order to illustrate information about the age composition and life expectancy. Let's take a look at a few pyramid now to understand the basics. In this diagram, we have the number of males on the left in blue and the number of females on the right in pink. The overall shape of the population looks like an upside down ice cream cone. We can see from this that the age composition of population is much larger at younger age than older ages. The number of females and males is about the same. The life expectancy is not very high as there are few older people in the population. Now that we've covered the fundamentals, let's take a look at how population Dharma might be experiencing a demographic shift. Some demographer believes there is a fifth stage of transition, in addition to the four commonly accepted stages. The stage 1 will be our first stop.
So hello everyone, I am Cadet Bolo Victor Jr. Savalia. So I am here to represent my topic that is all about the island of Dharma. So the island of Dharma has recently become inhabited. The population is just starting out and does not yet have the best sanitation and water quality. Some of the water is contaminated, allowing disease to spread. There isn't much healthcare available on this remote island, which does not help the stop of disease that are being caused by the lack of sanitation. There aren't yet supermarkets from which the people can buy food and supplies, so they need to work the land. Larger families are better for this because the children can go to work and help support the family. Dharma is currently in stage 1, or the high population growth potential stage of demographic transition. Stage 1 has high fertility and high mortality rates. Because both rates are high, the overall size of the population doesn't change much. As with the population of Dharma, mortality rates are high due to poor sanitation, poor water quality, high rates of disease, and high rates of famine. The fertility rates are high due to the lack of family planning and the cultural need for children. Populations in stage 1 tend to be rural and agricultural, so families need kids in order to work the land and to survive. Relating this information back to the pyramids. In the first pyramid, the number of births was very high, and based on the small number of older individuals, we can assume that the death rate was also very high. This pyramid is an example of population in stage 1 of demographic transition. Stage 2. The population of Dharma has come to the conclusion that better water quality, sanitation, and healthcare are required due to the island high mortality rate. While completing their task is no minor undertaking, the people of Dharma understand its importance. In the process of making improvements, the population enters stage 2, which is the beginning of demographic transition. Mortality rates are rapidly declining while fertility is rising among populations at this stage. During this stage, the overall population start to increase. As we see with the people of Dharma, the decrease in deaths in stage 2 is due to improved sanitation. So, water quality healthcare and food production. The number of births is still high because populations at this stage still require large families for survival and there is still limited family planning. So, there is stage that was seen in the second population pyramid, which had a high fertility rate but a lower death rate than the first pyramid. In this stage, economic development is speeded up due to the individual and government efforts. Increased use of better technology, mechanization, and urbanization takes place. But there is no substantial change in the attitude of the people and hence birth rate stays high. Economic development has not yet started affecting the birth rate. Stage 3. It is also characterized as a population stage because the population continues to grow at a fast rate. In this stage, birth rate as compared to the death rate declines more rapidly. As a result, population grows at a diminishing rate. This stage witnesses a fall in the birth rate while the death rate stays constant because it has already declined to the lowest minimum. Birth rate declines due to the impact of economic development, change social attitudes, and increased facilities for family planning. Population continues to grow fast because death rates stop falling, whereas birth rate, though declining but remains higher than death rate. Stage 4. It is called the stage of stationary population. Birth rate and death rate are both at low level and they are again near balance. So it is already balanced. So the birth rate is approximately equal to death rate and there is a little growth in population. It becomes more or less stationary at a low level. So that's all. Thank you.
Good morning, sir. I'm Fernandez GB, and my report is all about theory of demographic transition. And there are four stages of theory of demographic. The stage one is characterized by high birth rate, death rate, and low rate of population growth. Stage two is characterized by high and stationary birth rate, rapidly declining death rate, and very rapid increase in population. Stage 3 is characterized by falling birth rate, low and stationary date, and rapidly rising population. Stage 4 is characterized by low birth rate and low death rate with stationary population at a low level. Next is global migration. Migration, the process or act of migrating, the movement from one region or place of habitat to another. Four types of migration: labor migration in the EU, forced migration, international retirement migration or IRM, and internal migration. First, global migration is immigrate. Immigrate is people who leave their country are said to immigrate. For example of this is when you're from Philippines and you're moving from another country like America, that's what you call immigrate. Next is immigrants. People who move into another country are called immigrants, just like immigrate. But immigrants is when you move into another country and you want to be a citizenship there and you want to live there and you can live there forever. That's what we call immigrants. Immigration is the movement of people into a country is known as immigration. Immigration is when you're from Philippines and you want to move in another country like America. That's what we call immigration. But immigration is you're not a citizenship there. You're just working there. The next is labor migration in the EU. Represent the movement of individuals from one country to another with the purpose of seeking work or responding the recruitment drives in another country. Highly skilled labor migration, unskilled low-wage labor and temporary migration. Labor migration in the EU. Highly skilled labor migration represents only a small percentage of migration, and it is the type of migration most demanded by the host countries who develop special type of incentives to attract highly skilled labor, often in specific categories such as doctors and nurses. Brain drain, loss of skilled labor, unskilled low-wage labor, and temporary migration was the main type of migration which played a very important role in the economic reconstruction of the industrialized country. That's all. Thank you.
Cadet Arcala Adrian, and my topic is all about forced migration. So, forced migration includes not only refuge and asylum seeker fleeing war or political repression, but also people displaced from their homes by projects such as dams or roads, or as a result of certain natural disaster. Third is international retirement migration, or IRM, a phenomenon of the northern countries such as Germany, the UK, and the Nordic countries, characterized by the residential mobility of retired people who have the economic power to buy properties abroad. Push factor, retirement. Pull factor, climate. And the fourth is internal migration. Each occurs inside a particular country and between regions, especially from economically poor areas and rural parts to major cities. Why people migrate? Economic migration, moving to find work or follow a particular career path. Social migration, moving somewhere for a better quality of life or to be close to family or friends. Political migration, moving to escape political persecution or war. Environmental causes of migration include natural disasters such as flooding.
Why people migrate? First, refugee. Someone who has left their home and does not have a new home to go to. Push and pull factors. Push factors are the reason why people leave an area. They include They include lack of services, lack of safety, crime, high crime, crop failure, drought, flooding, poverty, and war. The pull factors are the reason why people move to a particular area. They include higher employment, more wealth, better services, good climate, safer, less crime, political stability, more fertile land, and lower risk from natural hazards. Cause and effect of migrations. The advantage of money sent home by migrants. Decrease pressure on jobs and resources. Migrants may return with new skills, and the disadvantage is people of working age move out, reducing the size of country's potential workforce. Gender imbalance are caused as it is typically men who seek to find employment elsewhere. Women and children are left. Brain drain if many skilled workers leave. The house country is the advantage is the richer and more diverse culture helps to reduce any labor shortages. Migrants are more prepared to take on low-paid, low-skilled jobs. And the disadvantages is increasing cost of services such as healthcare and education, overcrowding, and disagreement between different religions and cultures. Global citizenship, the umbrella term of social, political, environmental, economic action of global-minded individuals and communities on a worldwide scale. Second, refer to a belief that individuals are members of multiple diverse local and non-local network rather than single actors affecting isolated societies.
Now let's move on to the global citizenship. Global citizenship is the umbrella term for social, political, environmental, and economic action of globally minded individuals and communities on a worldwide scale. The term can refer to the belief that individuals are members of multiple diverse local and non-local networks rather than single actors affecting us isolated societies. Promoting global citizenship in a sustainable development will allow individuals to embrace their social responsibilities to act for the benefit of all societies, now just not just their own. The concept of global citizenship is embedded in a sustainable development goal through SDG 4, ensuring inclusive and quality education for all and promote lifelong learning, which include global citizenship as one of its target by 2030. The international community has agreed to ensure that all learners acquire that knowledge and skill needed to promote sustainable development, include global citizenship. Universities have a responsibility to promote global citizenship by teaching their students that they are member of a large global community and can use their skill and education to contribute to that community. Through human history, we always organize ourselves into groups and communities that share similar values, ideas, culture, and over, overall identity. This in turn help and still help shape our needs to economically, politically, religiously, and socially. But in the 21st century, as the world has less physical and communication barriers, we've seen a rise in higher demands for global engagement, resulting in global citizens who crave a sense of belonging to the world community rather than small local one. In the classroom, a student can start to face issue of global independence through an economics course, diversity of
identities and cultures in a history course, sustainable development in a environmental societies course, and more classes that allow for varied learning methods such as debate and role playing are become an increasing necessity for your basic school curriculum. That's all.
Good day, sir. Good everyone. My name is Anthony Sumadarfil, and I will be the one assigned this topic. My topic is global citizenship, a way of living that recognizes our world is an increasingly complex web of connection and interdependencies. The second is nurtures person respect and respect for others, whatever they live. Third, exploring global citizenship themes helps learner grow more confident and standing up for their belief, and more skills in evaluating the ethics and impact of their decision. We have any classification of global citizenship, and this as result students learn to become successful learners, confident individual responsible of citizens, and effective contributors. All in all, this will allow the student explore, develop and express their own values and opinions. They will increase their listening and the most speaking skill of others and opinions to be able to make informed choices. And only effective but others will. Just the future of the world lies in the hands of the youth. Global citizenship nurtures person respect and respect for others. Whenever they live, it encourages individuals to think deeply and critical about what is equitable of just and what is minimize harm to planet. Exploring global citizenship themes helps learners grow more confident standing up for their beliefs and more skills evaluating the ethics and impact of decision. Thank you, sir, and God bless.